Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another video where, guys, we finally did it after 42 long weeks of, getting to the funded stage, blowing it up, and then needing to start over from scratch, and then passing that account to being at break-even for weeks. We finally got our first payout, and I won't delay too long, so let's just get straight into this week's trades. Today's the day, guys. Alright, coming into today, we did have a nice recovery as price pushed all the way up throughout Asia, and we did have a nice continuation during London, but we did start stalling out with a lack of buying pressure at this high. And since we do have a lack of buying pressure and the low time frame is starting to form more bearish imbalances, I do think we will seek the London lows as it does overlap with the hourly order block, and that hourly order block is also unfilled in the current moment. That all depends on how price continues to form though, so I'm just going to wait and see. And we did get a pretty clean retest into the high time frame balances, and from seeing market structure shift to more bullish, I did shift my focus more to the longs, and we did respect those imbalances and formed a clean 5-minute order block, which I did want to see the retest into, and the retest was honestly pretty clean. And since we did get a nice wick formation on the 5-minute, I did decide to enter targeting the London highs, and this trade just ran instantly. Price didn't hesitate at all and just pumped straight to hit my TP cleanly for a nice win today. A real quick day for me, and the setup was really clean. I do think today's trade was a good example of what last week Monday's trade was missing, as the setup did have really good substance backing up the trade. The market structure backed up the longs really well, along with the confluences, which is why I did decide to take the setup, and I targeted London highs, which was a clear draw that price could target as it also overlapped with the weekly gap. And the cool thing is that we did request our payout today, so that is absolutely fire. We finally reached a milestone that honestly right now, even as I'm saying this, it feels completely surreal, and it did take a little bit to figure out the whole process, but we got it done. So I'll probably just let the payout request cook for a little bit, and then I'll just come back Wednesday for the next trading day. Alright, so we did just end up having a bit of a sell-off throughout the whole day, with London having a bit of a recovery, and we did have some really nice imbalances aligning with liquidity and market structure, as price is respecting this 4-hour and 1-hour order block. And the low time frame was also retesting and respecting this 15-minute order block as well, so everyone was just really nicely aligned, to be honest. And we had a wick sweep of a high as well, so that shows the lack of buy pressure to shift the trend and gives me more of a reason to have a bearish bias. I do want to wait and see though, as we are still chomping around a bit, and we did have a pretty strong retest into the 15-minute order block, but after letting price develop a bit more, we did just pump heavily during market open, so that sell idea was pretty much thrown out the window. I was a bit skeptical of today's price action though, since it really wasn't the cleanest, but we did form a new 5-minute fair value gap, which we retested pretty nicely after we shifted higher on the 15-minute, and we also inverted a 1-minute fair value gap from that 5-minute formation, so that gave me the green light to enter, and the trade ended up pumping hella quickly. We did stall out a little bit while I was trying to figure out how to use TradingView. That was actually so confusing, but we managed to get it sorted. Ended up pumping really nicely to hit my TP, and real cleaned up today. I am really happy with this setup, and I had to wait a fat minute for this one, but we did stay patient, and when the opportunity presented itself, we didn't hesitate, so we stuck to the rules perfectly. This is a perfect day, just enough Wednesday. Alrighty boys, so that wraps up this week's trades. A really short week, which I am sorry about. I was originally going to trade Thursday too, but since Trump decided it would be a good time to speak during the day, it made it a day where I was less probable to win, so I just decided to not force things. I did have some thoughts, however, of just hopping on regardless to trade, but I am glad I did snap out of it, because I think even if things worked out, it still isn't right for me to hop on. Just because I made it to, payout stage doesn't mean I'm invincible to any losses and can hop on whenever I want to trade. But yeah, I mean, this is just something you gotta be careful about, because when you get to this stage, I think this is something that starts creeping in a bit more. But yeah guys, we finally did it after so long. It was a really long journey. This whole series took almost like a year to complete. I'll be staying consistent with the weekly uploads, with me just focusing on just improving my trading and mental, just whatever I can manage to do better, because I know there's a lot more that I can do. And yeah, I hope you guys will follow along my journey as I do start to scale up, and eventually in the future probably move to a live account plus prop firms, but we'll see. Yeah, I'll just keep documenting regardless, and thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy it, then a like and a sub would help heaps. And I also want to grow the channel, because I do feel like there isn't that many people with the whole journey from the very beginning to a payout documented on YouTube, so I think it definitely can help people with their journey too. So sorry for yapping guys, but I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.